We're going to be finishing up one of the Versatech Mantas, which is one of the variables of the Versatech. The Versatech can be made into several different holsters. So, listing them out today, there's just a standard Versatech to where you have a choice of the clips that are detachable, that can be reversed. You can put on a complete loop. There's also you can have the Versatech Lima. So the Versatech Lima is just the Versatech with what we call Lima wings, and they are a 10-ounce Latigo that is cut and spaced just so it gives the all thermoset holster that's inherently rigid. It gives it some flexibility without going all hybrid, without having to put a leather back and all these other things. And actually using the 10-ounce gives you more rigidity if you want to go outside the waistband. Obviously, you can use it inside the waistband as well. And there are a couple of options for that front clip to where you can flip it around. And instead of using some of these more gimmicky things to pull the butt of the gun in, it actually uses the clip itself, which is the only thing I've ever used to pull the butt of the gun in. There doesn't need to be any extra parts, which I do believe some of these things will go away in the future, and we'll see some of these ideas that are a little more practical and a little more dual use or multi use. We'll start seeing those pop up, especially when it comes into everybody's worried about, all right, I need to hide the profile, cut the picture, and all this other kind of stuff, especially when it comes to AIWB and full size guns, light bearing stuff. But it also applies to people who like to carry at 3 and 4 o'clock and who like some cant on their gun. So if that is if that is the thing that you want to achieve, there are different ways to achieve that than by putting an angled extra bulbous piece onto a holster that is actually, it has like knurls in it. So it's, you got to treat it as part of your clothing, as part of your belt. And then if you want that back of the holster to perform by pulling the gun into the body, then go ahead and integrate both of those ideas, which is by giving it an anchor point, which can be smooth. It doesn't have to be rough. It doesn't have to have these knurls in it to keep it from sliding and this weird angle that adds bulk and some weird, just some odd thing to the holster that just definitely is not a natural feature to, what we're looking for in a deep concealment, plain closed environment. So we look for, obviously, it's going to be a pretty dynamic situation to where my holsters are mostly applied, and that is to provide deep concealment, yada yada, and I know that it's so overused that I hate even using it, but it is absolute plain closed carry. It is to blend in with your surroundings, even though there is a known DO somewhere, where you're looking and you got a freaking job to do. You're going to be doing it for 16 hours. So, comfort is also key. Going to the bathroom is key. Being able to keep your weapon on while you go to the bathroom without having that gun go one side or the other. And that's another thing is when you have a single point of attachment, that gun, um, it's going somewhere because the other point of attachment was your body, was the friction of your body and your belt pushing it up against and keeping it into place, especially if you have something that's, only just kind of pushing into the backside of the tension of the belt to pull the butt of the gun in. And, it's something that you have to readjust, which I try not to look at these things. You know what I mean? I only try to look at what's the best practice to carry as much equipment as you can and to stay completely concealed all the time without it being on your mind. Vehicle carry is necessity and also all day carry. So it has to be EDC, lots of EDC. So I don't, I call it the bulk EDC program. How about that? You know what I mean? Because everyday carry is always applied to something that's really tiny and small, and a lot of people don't know. There's another world out there that staying concealed means staying with your proper equipment still. You know what I mean? Everyday carry with proper equipment, but just with different clothes. So just because your hat changed, don't mean that your clothes didn't. And just because your clothes changes, doesn't mean your hat ever changes, because it won't. So those are who I talk to. We're going to keep you at least, as far as I know, we'll keep that proper retention adjustable, and we'll show you a couple different methods here coming up of maybe 3, 4 ways to do the VersaTac.